Hi, everyone. A few days ago, I was talking to a church member about Social Security, and I mentioned my recent video about the Social Security Administration sending letters to thousands of people, claiming that they needed to give the money back. I attempted to pull that video up on my phone to show her, and as I did, I noticed that someone had done a hit piece on me about a year ago. I had heard of this person before, and the fact that they did these hit pieces on people that deal with money and finances, but I had no idea that he'd done a hit piece on me. I waited until that night and actually watched the hit piece, and to my surprise, this person actually slandered me on several occasions in his video. Slander is the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation. I believe that this person did damage to my reputation because over 15,000 people saw this hit piece over the last year. I'm not going to argue or try to persuade anyone that the income tax is being misrepresented and misapplied to the American people. I've already done the research and beat that horse down. But I will link a memorandum done by attorney Tommy Cryer, who had not filed income taxes for a good while and who won his case against my former employer a few months before my trial. This memorandum, for those that wish to explore it, shows how this attorney did the research and came to the same conclusion as I did before I did. There are several flat-out lies that this person told on or about me because he actually did not do the research. I will not link the video because we don't want to garner any more views for this hit piece, but I will repeat what he said and show you the truth. First, this person called me a conspiracy theory nutjob, evidently for my beliefs about the tax system. I really don't care about people calling me names, but I wonder if this person thinks that all these people are also conspiracy nutjobs for opposing the system. Next, this person said it's easy to find a law unless you're not looking for it. To prove his statement, he posted a pamphlet that my former employer uses to lead people that don't do the research to believe everything they say. In fact, several people in his comment section referenced things to dispel the pamphlet, just regular old people that did the research. We'll get back to the comments later. And again, attorney Tommy Cryer's memorandum and Bill Benson's books are well-researched documents that show otherwise. This person began reading the government's press release on my conviction. Of course, they're going to tell their side and try to scare people out of thinking for themselves. But one thing this person said during the reading is that I received 4 consecutive terms of 12 months. Please keep that in mind for later. The press release, per this person, said that I continued to prepare tax returns after I had stopped filing. The way it was worded and stated made it seem as though something was terribly wrong with that, when in fact, I was in the process of research, and once I was sure of my research and decided to take a stand, I wrote all of my clients about what I had found, and I sold my tax practice. But of course, nobody mentioned that fact, even though they wanted to include the proceeds from that sale of the tax practice as income. Finally, from the press release, the person read that I didn't file because I didn't know what the term individual meant in the tax law. What really happened is that I made the point that definitions that most people use every day are not the same in the code, and I gave examples like person, per 26 U.S. Code Section 7701 in the definitions. The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a trust, estate, partnership, association, company, or corporation. The average Joe would not know that a corporation or a trust is also defined as a person, along with the word individual. That's all I have to say about that, because that research can get really deep, as many of you already know. Next, the person tells the viewers that what I'm up to now is doing what any fake guru would do. He said, and I quote, "She is now serving as a financial expert and business consultant." Yes, I am serving my clients. I know finances, and I'm an excellent business consultant and strategist. I have a degree in accounting and over 30 years experience in all types of accounting and business matters, along with lots of happy clients. But it appears that the person feels that since I disagree with the income tax as it stands, I don't know anything and I can't help people. Then this person comes across as if to say that even though I served my time, I don't deserve to do what I do because I haven't changed my quote-unquote theories. Well, no, I still believe what I believe. But now, instead of trying to cut the head off the beast, I help people starve the beast by helping them keep as much as they can away from the beast. And frankly, people love me for it. Next, this person goes in on the fact that on my old website, I said that I was in prison on a misdemeanor charge. He told the viewers to pay attention to how fake gurus kind of manipulate stuff. The person said that I was claiming that I served 4 years on a misdemeanor crime, and I quote, "but in fact, she served it based off a felony." This is the person's biggest lie and the proof that he didn't do a lick of true research. Remember when I mentioned that the government's press release said I received 4 consecutive terms of 12 months? Well, that should have been a clue for this person, because it's not normal to hear 4 consecutive terms of 12 months. Usually you hear that so-and-so got 4 years or so-and-so got 10 years. The reason there were 4 different terms of 12 months each is because it was a misdemeanor charge. The charge was willful failure to file. The definition of misdemeanor is 1 year or less. And what they did was pile 4 one-year misdemeanor charges on me because they didn't like the fact that I was using my free speech to tell people to research the issue. When felony charges are brought on someone, there is an indictment. But when misdemeanor charges are brought, there is no indictment, but they bring something called an information. Yes, the charge was a misdemeanor, willful failure to file tax returns. But at sentencing, the judge clearly stated that I was not only being sentenced, but I was being given an additional year above the sentencing guidelines because, and I quote, "You can't run around the country telling people not to file tax returns." By the way, I never did that. And the person that did the hit piece video should have known what really happened in that sentencing hearing and what the actual charge was, unless you really weren't looking for it. This person called me a felon, and over 15,000 people have watched that video. He has slandered my name with this lie and the following lies. This person went on to say that on my LinkedIn profile, I call myself doctor, and that when people call themselves doctor, he's always skeptical. The person then questions whether I am really a doctor. The person then says he noted that I got the doctorate degree from Andersonville Theological Seminary, and stated that most of the time when he hears that someone has some kind of church-based or Bible-based doctorate degree, he doesn't think it's worth the paper that it's printed on. Now, that statement was not directed specifically at me, but at the people he, quote, most of the time hears has doctorate degrees. So he appears to be saying that most of the people that have doctorate degrees that are church or Bible-based are not legitimate. Wow, y'all. Think about all of the great pastors out there that have graduated from seminaries with a doctorate degree in ministry or divinity, putting in all that work and labor for their congregations. But they aren't worthy of having doctor in front of their names because he says the degree isn't worth the paper it's written on. Wow. Then he goes in on me specifically, saying that he searched to see if the school, meaning Andersonville Theological Seminary, is actually accredited. Then this person said, and I quote, "And if you go to the government website to see if this college is actually accredited, nothing pops up." Folks, he looked on a government website. On a government website. Goodness knows which one, but evidently he trusts nothing but government websites. Here's proof of the seminary's credentials and accreditations that anyone could find if they're not looking on a government website and if they're really looking for it. Also, here are photos of my 188-page dissertation, which I worked long and hard to write, in which, because I'm such a great researcher, my dissertation was accepted without defense. Those of you that are in academia or have doctorate degrees know how rare it is for someone not to have to defend their dissertation. I rest my case on my doctorate degree. Finally, this person tells the viewers that the lesson for the day is to never take tax advice from an ex-IRS agent who lost their CPA license because of tax crimes. Here is yet another major lie and slander of my name. I gave up the CPA license because even though former CID IRS agent Joe Bannister won his case against the IRS for standing up, the California Board of Accountancy, at the behest of the government, still took his license. So I gave mine up. A quick search of the Georgia Board of Accountancy shows that my license was voluntarily surrendered, not revoked, and that there were no enforcement, non-compliance, or disciplinary actions against me. As a matter of fact, somewhere in my old files, I have the actual letter that I wrote giving them the license back and their letter responding, accepting my license back. You can even go on the site and see for yourself by putting in my name in Search for a CPA on the Georgia Board of Accountancy website. It has always been there since the early 2000s, unless you're not really looking for it. In summary, this person told several lies on me, sometimes because he was quoting the position of the government and the information that they published, but most of it was because he just didn't do the research. I also looked in the comments section of this person's video and noticed that of the 168 comments, a great many of the people in his comment section railed against what he said concerning the income tax, against his slander of me, and against his choice to call me out of my name. Many of them argued to him to do his own research with a capital O instead of parroting what the government said. And other people in the comment section posted information that actually agreed with my stand on the income tax system. Some of them even asked, "Why are you down on these pastors? And why are you saying that their degrees are no good?" Now, because the statute of limitations is still open, there could be a civil case here. But all I want to do right now is dispel this person's lies and make sure that when potential clients come to social media, they get the truth about what happened with me. This video of mine shows many of my happy clients as opposed to conjecture. I don't even particularly care to have him sanctioned by YouTube for his slander, outright lies, and damage of my reputation as an upstanding financial consultant. What I do want is to show my subscribers and others that watch my channel how easy it is for some people to come out against others and even lie on them for the sake of views and money from YouTube without actually putting in the work to make sure that what they're saying is true. That's all for now. I pray that everyone has a great holiday. This is Doctor with a real earned doctorate with a 188-page dissertation that was accepted without defense by a real accredited theological seminary, non-felon, still holding all her unalienable rights, SherryPeelJackson, signing out.